Hi guys, you ready for lesson number 3, shading round surfaces? Look around your environment for a round or curved objects. Observe how the light hits these three-dimensional forms. You know what a three-dimensional form is? Something that's not flat. A piece of paper is not three-dimensional. Well, no, it's flat. All right, note that when the light hits the round surfaces, the areas closest to the light appear lighter than the surfaces that are further away. What is further away remains in the shadow. Curved or round forms are more difficult to draw than flat surfaces because changes in shading occur more gradually. This gradual change from light to dark is called gradation. That's probably not a word you've heard before. Maybe you could look that up and see just what that means. And I'll show you some pictures in a few minutes and that'll help too. You can show changes on curved surfaces by using dark and light values. That's another word to write down and look up, value. To indicate difference in tone. Oh, a lot of new words today. Tone, write the word tone down and look that up. These tonal changes are achieved through shading, and they range from pure white to pure black, with hundreds of gradations in between. In pencil drawing, the white paper represents the lightest value, while the areas shaded with the heaviest lines represent the darkest value. We'll look at that in a minute when I'm pointing to a picture. Other tones can be achieved by various pencil methods, such as solid shading with the shade of a pencil, or by using varying degrees of thin and thick lines spaced close together or far apart. The technique of cross-hatching can also be used to indicate shaded areas. Cross-hatching is a method of shading using crisscrossing lines in varying thicknesses. Such shading techniques help make solid forms look three-dimensional. In this lesson, you will draw a group of curved objects showing the value differences through various methods of shading with your pencil. All right, let me show you some pictures. Back up away from this time because it seemed to crop it square for some reason last time. All right, how can you tell where the light is coming from in this picture? And this is a Mexican artist named Diego Rivera, and the name of the picture is called Sleep. Look closely at all the different shading techniques used to show light and shadow and roundness. Can you see the cross-hatching? Note how shading defines the contours of the noses and mouths and shows different hair textures. Looks a little pixelated from, see the hair, the lines of the hair there? See the blankets, the folds on her clothes? And they've done that with their pencil, making it lighter and darker. All right, and over here, that's a round circle. Can you see the cross-hatching? It's really dark there and thick and close together, and then it gets further apart and further apart until it almost goes away. It also gets softer. And there's a tennis ball, a vase, and a lamp. All right, so what I want you to do, I want you to arrange 3 curved objects so that they will be overlapping in your drawing. Select things that are different in size and shape. Sketch the contour or the edges and boundaries of each shape, and then the parts that overlap other shapes. Visualize a light center guideline down the middle of each object to help you define the 2 halves and keep them alike if they are symmetrical. All right, and then using a soft lead pencil or charcoal, let's just stick with our pencil. If you had charcoal, you could try it, but charcoal's really messy. and your pencil is almost as soft as charcoal. Start shading the object, pressing heavily for the dark areas and gradually getting lighter and lighter. This simple shading technique will make the objects appear solid and three-dimensional. You might also use a fine pencil. You might also use fine pencil lines or cross-hatching to achieve special shading effects. Shadows placed beneath the objects create an additional feeling of depth. And I think we talked about last week the different kinds of shading. I'll turn back to it before we quit here. And then to finish your picture, look carefully at your objects. Is there a spot of a bright reflection where the light is hitting it along a curve to create the effect of highlights on curved surfaces? Let the white paper show through or use an eraser to define these lighter areas. Then, for a striking display, mount your picture on a dark background. That'll look really cool. All right, so let's find the shading again. Texture, stippling, that's with dots. Hatching, that's just with lines. Smooth shading, texture, and cross-hatching. All right, I can't wait to see what you guys did last week and this week because I haven't seen last week's yet. Take some pictures and send them to me, especially if I don't answer the phone. If I don't answer the phone, it's because I can't or it isn't ringing. And last time you guys missed a call, I didn't even hear it ring. It didn't even show that I'd missed a call or I'd have called you back. I would never ignore your phone calls. Anyway, can't wait to see what you've done. Love you guys.